Hello and welcome to the December edition of the Recast Right-Click Tools release show, everyone. We are so glad to have you here with us today. If this is your first time live on the show, buckle up for a good time. If you've been here before, welcome back. We do the Right-Click Tools release show as an excuse to get us all together with friends in the community, talk about what's going on in the systems management world, celebrate the things we're excited about that just got released, and make space for good Q&A and feedback. With all the folks trying to do systems management out there. Our show is usually structured into 3 parts. We start with a little bit of story time, then talk about the release, and then do the Q&A at the end. But you can ask questions at any point throughout the show, either in the chat, the Q&A app, or raise your hand if you want to come off mute and talk if you're joining us live. If you're watching this on YouTube later, throw those questions into the comments and we'll get back to you on that spot. When we do our story time today, we've got 3 different things we're going to talk about there. The holiday innovation event. So we're going to discuss some of the Intune Suite news out of Microsoft, and we're going to do a Spotify-inspired 2025 Right-Click Tools Wrapped that Courtney is going to rapid fire demo a bunch of stuff for. It's going to be a lot of fun. Well, let's get into it. I'm Nash Fearson. I'm a director of product here at Recast, helping guide the Right-Click Tools. I'm joined by Jeff and Brandon, 2 of our awesome engineers. Marty, one of our heroes from support. Fabian, one of our heroes from our marketing team, but you might also know him from the Diary of a Sysadmin podcast, or as the president of the Twin Cities Systems Management User Group.
So many things.
Yeah. We've got Kyle, one of our heroes from customer success, in the studio today. Online, we've got Scott, who is homesick or with a sick family, and instead of coming and sharing it here with us, which is just fine. Thanks for being with us online, Scott. Scott's with the product team. We've got Garth, one of our product leaders here as well. We've got Courtney, the team lead for our solutions engineering team. And we've got David Segura of OSD Cloud fame. I didn't miss any of our online speakers, did I? I think I got everybody. Looked at the list. Yep, looks good. Well, let's get into it. We're doing our holiday show. And the holiday show means ugly sweater. So I'm going to stand up. I got my ugly sweater. You got your ugly sweater on. So we worked really hard on our ugly sweaters. Yep, Fabian even almost has his on. All of my ugly sweaters I had before got somehow shrank by COVID. So I had to get a new one for this game. If you got your ugly sweater, please come on, go ahead and we'll let you turn your camera on, which I'm hoping we've already done or will do in just a second. We'll let you turn your camera on. Show us your ugly sweater. We want to see your ugly sweater. Our marketing friends have brought gift cards for anybody else who joins us with their ugly sweater today. We want to see your holiday sweaters too. We're doing the holidays up hard here, okay? And yeah, if you're in a warm climate with a holiday tank top, that's fine. We're not bitter here in Minnesota.
And yes.
Yep. Awesome. Dave, are you getting what you need? Are you able to get people's names?
I am getting them, but I'm a little slower than had hoped. So give me just a couple more seconds.
Keep that camera on. Show us that sweater, especially if you want the gift card. Dave from our marketing team is doing his fast to take a look.
Hannah Jaden, I see yours.
Fantastic. Who's coming on? I was going to say off mute or off video mute to show us the sweaters. So
y'all look awesome.
Okay, we got them all.
I'm looking too. This is great.
Nice.
Got them all.
Six sweaters.
Thanks, everyone.
You got it, Dave?
So cool.
I did. We got our ugly sweater selfies.
Yeah, no, there is no ugly sweater judgment though, so don't feel like you have to compare. We'll take what you got, meet you where you're at. Awesome. All right, well, thank you for sharing that with us. It's much appreciated. For story time today, we've got a bunch of stuff. Normally we kind of stick to one story, but it's the end of the year. We got a lot we're really excited to kind of share stories about. The very first thing we're going to do is I'm going to turn it over to Garth to talk about our holiday innovation event.
Thanks, sir. So let's talk about the holiday innovation event. It all started with the elf on the shelf coming in and tying up Chris who's our chief architect, and saying, that's it, they're taking over for the next 2 weeks. So they tied them up, and they went off to all the devs and asked the devs to do something random throughout the whole thing. So the devs have been working on projects that go from AI magic to remote wizardry to things behind the scenes that you'll never know that exist, or the unsung heroes. What I can tell you about this is over the next 2 months or so, you'll see a number of new things being released, and I strongly encourage you to come to the next few release shows to find out what those are. As we flush them out, we'll release those to the product or products. And there's some really cool ones, I can tell you that. Ultimately, we're going to be doing a couple of these innovation events a year, and this is the last one for 2025. But I encourage you to get your ideas into our ideas portal for our next innovation event, which I won't tell you when it will happen, but it's happening. So with that, does Brandon or Jeff want to talk about either of their two projects? Spill the
Ask a
beans a
question?
little bit?
Yeah.
So just, can you talk about how you pick projects, right? This is all up to you to work on essentially
It
whatever
is.
you want to work on
Yeah.
for a whole 2 week sprint.
Yeah, I'm a pretty simple person, so I'm like, Courtney, what would you love to see the most? And that's kind of how I use the thing.
Courtney picks.
I
Yeah,
have a lot of ideas.
Legit tactic. No, there's a ton of different discussion throughout the year of things that we can do, things that we can improve. Some of those things find their way into the roadmap, some of them don't. And like some of the things that don't find their way into the roadmap are small enough that we can do on a sprint. Things that have happened in the past are like the client information, system information in the browser extension got in there. We were able to make silent installers for some of our products that got in there. There's also stuff that you don't necessarily see, improvements to our UI. I guess you technically see that one, but I mean, we do have improvements that go into it, but that's kind of where a lot of this comes from. It's a lot of discussion throughout the company, and we just kind of have our favorites, those like things that we wish we saw, and we have now the chance to actually go and do that. So
yeah. This only says what me and Jeff are working on, but there's absolutely amazing stuff that the rest of the team is working on. So
absolutely.
next month should be really fun.
And also sometimes favorites are customer success managers slipping the devs
Yes.
like a $50 or $100 bill.
Yeah, bribery is explicitly allowed in the innovation event as you're trying to influence the decision-making process for the devs. Yep. Mhm.
And a lot of times, like Brandon said, we do get these ideas from the ideas portal. So please continue to funnel information into it. Those do lead to conversation. So, Brandon, do you want to talk through what you did? At least at high level.
Yeah. So what I worked on was basically looking into, I don't know how to explain it without giving too much away.
You give enough away. Tell people what you built.
Started working on looking into the like Windows management stuff, making things routable over the agent and exploring that and building out the first couple pieces and stuff like that. So
Totally
things that
crazy.
you couldn't do over agent, should be able to do over agent, and hopefully it makes a lot of techs happy when they see what
Yeah.
they get.
So you're trying to take some of the native Windows tools like Explorer and Regedit that don't work great with internet connected devices without a lot of work.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So just
exactly.
can we route, build our own version of those tools and route it over agent. Love it. That's so
Exactly.
exciting.
Because that's currently like one of the biggest struggles in modern management. If something is entirely internet-based, completely remote, how do you manage that? And that is a struggle, and that's one of the barriers that prevents people from going to Intune. So a lot of Brandon's work is starting to address some of that.
Love it.
And
And
then
then working on.
I did an interesting little proof of concept. So there's a lot of discussion, obviously, around AI. we don't necessarily want to just shoehorn in AI to our products and be one of those bad examples of, hey, we added a chatbot to this, or we added this. Like, we want to be adding value to our customers. And so we're trying out a couple of different ways that we can introduce AI to our products. But the way that I did it for this innovation event, I worked with 4 other individuals across the organization. And we tried a couple of different ways of adding what's called model context protocol to some of our products. Auntie and myself mostly focused on the console extension. Since the console extension is still like our go-to path for sysadmins using our tools, it made sense that that would be like where we could add this in. So let me try to do a quick demo of this.
Sweet.
But before I do, I want to be very clear that this is an internal proof of concept. It has no release date. There are major concerns around the supportability. What we did was we actually had used a Microsoft library that's in alpha, so it's not even publicly released for beta usage. But we were able to use this, and yeah, it's a really cool tool. So ultimately, what it allows us to do is inside of VS Code, if you have GitHub Copilot connected to it, it has built into it what's called the Model Context Protocol servers. So you can create this MCP JSON and actually define out different tools that you want to use. And now, like when we ship this, we'd be able to add right-click tools to this, and you'd be able to get a huge list of tools available. Right now, I have quite a few enabled because I wanted to play around with a lot of different things. But these tools allow you to essentially use chat to actually interact with a lot of the different tools we have. So what devices are online? And what it's going to do is it's going to look through the description we put on all these tools. It's going to make a recommendation, and it's going to go and run that and collect that information. And now we can actually see in our RMS, based on RMS, what is connected and what is not. And yeah, one of the fun benefits of this is that in RMS, because we're routing our actions through RMS, we actually have an audit log of everything that it's doing. So you can actually see the actions. You should have been able to see the actions that I was doing, unless my demo changed slightly.
Are you doing
but-
a real action, Jeff?
Yes. What was that?
I think if you tried to do a real action, they might show up in the audit log. Yeah.
Yeah.
Reboot them.
What is the encryption status
Please
for all of these devices? So you can use natural language. You can have it go out and do a bunch of actions. Since we have a lot of stuff around BitLocker, it's one of my favorite things to demo. But I'm gonna allow it in this workspace to always be able to run this action. So it won't always prompt me after this. I just need to click on all of these first. A lot of these.
Good for the pre-alpha.
Yes. Again, that's something you can disable in the actual session itself. So now if we go back here and we refresh, let's see. Yeah, we see all of these actions actually showing up in RMS. So it's auditable. The way that we're implementing it, you can also revoke actions using RMS. So if you have certain individuals that you want to have only read access to, you set that up in RMS and they will only see those actions. Yeah, Garth, you had a question.
Wrong button.
Okay.
Alpha team meeting, folks.
Exactly. But no,
Cross it off your bingo list, you know.
this is
someone
just
did
one of the
wrong.
ways that we're looking at like potentially adding it, and let us know in the chat if this is something you would actually want to use or play around with. Like I said, there's a lot of discussion going on this, and this is just one of the ideas that we played with.
I love it. That's the whole purpose of the innovation event, is time and space to just try ideas, see if they work. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. We learned something along the way. You had fun doing it?
I did, yeah. Yeah, it was very informative. Like learning about this stuff is changing so fast that you really need to dive into it to try to keep up. So,
You said Antti over in Finland worked on it too. Who else?
yep. Tamara and Thomas also were involved. Brady's been involved, and I'm not giving a comprehensive list. Like Chris has been involved in this as well. Lots of help.
Jeff, are you thinking we could like execute an action too, not just like pull information, but
Yeah, you
trigger
can.
something to happen?
I can try that demo.
I mean, we don't have to.
One of the cool things,
Just in
so
theory.
Yeah.
Jeff had me play with this a little bit earlier. One of the things, I've always been big into Windows updates, so it's like have it check Windows update status and then say, hey, according to what you've seen with Windows Update, which device do you think is the most vulnerable in my environment?
Ooh.
It would tell me, and then what I'm guessing Jeff is going to look at here is be like, hey, let's install those updates.
Yeah.
Go ahead and install updates, that kind of thing.
Yeah, so if this device is online, which I think I remember it was, like I just asked it to encrypt and it chose the action to encrypt the volume. So it looks like it failed because the protector wasn't there. So it's going to then try to add the protector.
Nice.
Ooh. And then, okay, it needs to add the TPM protector.
That's all good. That's
So it's going to try a couple of different things.
Yeah.
And you can start to see like the power of this. It's kind of figuring out what it needs to do while it's doing it. But you know, as long as it simplifies the process and maybe makes it easier for
wow.
a junior sysadmin or somebody to actually do their job, like this is exactly like what we're hoping for, is that we lower that barrier to entry for some of these things and make it easier for our customers.
So much potential.
It has
Yeah.
a lot of potential. Just remember, it may not look like this at all when it's released. It may never get released at all.
Yeah.
But here's just kind of some of the things that we're looking at and directions that we might want to take things.
Yeah, so cool to think about somebody, like you said, a more junior person who knows, like, this is the end result. Here's what I'm trying to get to.
Mhm.
I don't know all the steps in between, but then it
Yeah.
helps you get everything else.
And they also
figure
like
out.
learn the steps in between because
Yeah.
it's like this is what the computer is doing to solve a problem. It's like, oh, I know to look for the
Yeah.
CPM, whatever. It's awesome.
And there's actually additional ways that you can kind of define processes and standards as well. So we're only building out the tools now, but you can also build out resources, which could be potentially your standard operating procedures for what you do. Think about like decommissioning a device. I need to remove it from Entra. I need to remove it from Intune. I need to like do all of these things. If you put that into your like standard operating procedure and use that as part of your context, it will go and do that standard operating procedure. So, there's a lot of potential.
Cool.
Looks like fun.
Yeah.
All right.
Sure. Thank you.
And today, I think, is the last day of the innovation event. So I think people are still finishing up a lot of projects too. This is just two of the examples, but that's what our devs have been hopefully focused on for the last 2 weeks. I know there's been lots of distractions that come up too, but I think we got a lot done. It sounds like people had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And when we do this again, I think we're doing this twice next year.
That's the hope.
Yeah, we'll keep getting better at making sure people can focus and build the things they want.
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. Anything else people want to share about the innovation event? A big thank you for all the sweater banter in chat. That is it's warming my heart. We got our poll out there, I think, already, right? I saw that come through. Fantastic. All right, our other next story time piece, we're gonna flip over and change our conversation to talk about the news that Microsoft released recently about giving up on Intune Suite and cutting it up and putting part of it in E3 and part of it in E5. And Fabian, you've been kind of leading the way on helping get the word out.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this is a great addition for Microsoft. I honestly think, right, wherever we can help IT administrators, right, giving them more capabilities for endpoint management, I think, right, is a great capability. So I'm happy for them. And we've also created a few blogs to help you navigate those changes, to know like, hey, what's in there, what's not. So I believe somebody should be putting that in the chat. But hey, kudos to them. That's awesome. And looking forward to empowering IT admins. So
Yeah, and I know there's a mixed bag of love and hate for Intune out there. And I think people getting these features at E3 and E5 hopefully close a bunch of pain points for a very large group of folks. I'm excited to see this for the systems management world. The fact that it comes with a price increase, I'm less excited about, but I get. And I'm excited that we're helping build tools that integrate with this stuff, right? This is where Right Click Tools lives, is hey, where Microsoft has a thing and there's a pain point there, how do we make it easier to go and use? So we have been building more Intune specific tools over the last several months. We did our browser extension back in January to bring all of our Right Click tools into the Intune admin portal context. And we're already planning to invest much more heavily in this world in the future. And this kind of makes us go, okay, we're headed in the right direction. So where you as an Intune admin have any sorts of pain, especially with these new tools you're getting access to whenever they actually show up for you, remember, like, that's an ideas portal thing. If you have to click through like 12 things to do something that should be super easy, let's just build a tool for you. While the right click tools have lots of really valuable big tools inside of the config world or Active Directory world, the things that get used most often are tiny tools, but they shave off a bunch of frustration. So where you've got that in Intune, we want to help, right? We've already got a couple of examples, like the starting points for Entra ID group management, getting device group management. We're kind of replicating what we did with collection and device membership and config manager. It's even harder to do that in Intune today. So begs for a tool. So that's a thing we did over this last year. And we're working on more. But if you're using Intune, whether it's Intune only or hybrid, we definitely want to see what you've got and for challenges and go fix those things. Yeah. So other thoughts on Intune Suite news?
Nope. As I mentioned, I did write some blogs to help you navigate those changes. So feel free to read those and leave any feedback. Thank you.
Awesome. And we had a license in chat just kind of asking for the attendees, which M365 license does your organization primarily use, knowing that everybody usually has a smattering. And the results there, 60 to 70% of the folks here, they're actually on E5 primarily. And about 20% are on E3, which is interesting. Lots of folks are on E5. They're going to get the full benefit of all the Intune Suite stuff without having to go and write up a separate bigger check from their M365 licensing. Yeah, and if you're on, Eric, thank you, calling out the enterprise licensing A5 or government G5, same equivalent. We'll see what that story fully looks like as they get closer to releasing it, because I think there are still some open questions about those other SKUs getting what.
Yeah.
And Catherine puts in chat, Azure Arc for servers, pretty great. Same thing, right? Our browser extension that we're using to extend Intune Suite, Entra ID, we can use to go and help the Azure Arc management story and the Azure portal. So wherever you run into challenges doing systems management and those other many web portals that Microsoft has, let us know. We want to make that easier for you. 1,000 little tools that just make life easier is really what our bread and butter is here. So
Totally.
cool. Good. Anything else?
No.
Good. Yeah.
No. Well, as long as things keep changing, we'll keep you updated. We'll do our best to, get you the news. So thank you.
Thanks, Fabian. All right, on to our next thing here. We want to do our Spotify inspired 2025 wrapped session. And I'm hoping that Courtney has her demo fingers ready to go.
Yeah, not to steal the verb, but like Recast wrapped, the alliteration sounds a little better than Spotify wrapped, I think. Recast wrapped.
Yeah. Spotify.
Like, don't sue us, Spotify.
Yeah. There we go. And I'm just gonna ask, Dave, will you go ahead and go back to making people have to raise their hand or request to come off mute just for the rest until we get to the Q&A section. That will help us with background noise. All our wrap session. So our wrap session is we're going to run through a rapid fire team favorites for right-click tools, enterprise and community and insights and patching. And Courtney agreed to try to rapid fire demo it. We'll see how this goes. What could possibly go wrong?
I will be your chauffeur for this demo experience today.
Yeah, I mean, you found out about this 30 minutes ago. That's plenty of time. Scott's pick.
So my
Tools
pick,
Enterprise.
so my pick, I think, is the same as a lot of folks. We were talking about this before, and a lot of us came to the same conclusion. Like right-click tools for Intune, also known as the browser extension. What this enables for folks moving to Intune and working in Intune every day is getting those same actions that you're familiar with working in the config console available in Intune, which is absolutely fantastic. So Courtney's showing off right now the fact that you can click the little button right next to all devices and bring up a view where you can get all those same actions that you're familiar with in Config Manager and run them from the Intune console, which is absolutely awesome. I think 3 or 4 of us were thinking, yes, this is the one that we want to pick because and we're going to be keeping on iterating on this as we go, adding more features, more Intune specific actions, as Nash said. But this is definitely the future, and it's where a lot of our excitement is right now for sure.
Good
And the
start.
best thing is you can do config manager actions in Intune and also Intune actions in config manager. So if you're co-managed, you get the best, and you don't have to switch between the two, which is great.
Yep, when Microsoft adds their 57th admin portal, we'll put the tools there too. Okay. All right, next up is Jeff.
Yeah, so my pick was the system information directly in the browser extension. This was just such a slick implementation. I got to give a round of applause to the developer that did this. Like, I know there was like a team that helped, but there was primarily one person on the last year's hackathon that really drove this. And he just threw so much stuff into this. It was amazing.
And who was that?
That was Ethan.
Ethan!
Can you hear it? Poor Ethan.
All right, thank you for that pick. That's a good one. I see you did also just highlight right-click tools for Intune. Lots of Ethan contributions there. Kyle.
Yeah, I think we also, one thing we glossed over was multi-device actions. So instead of just being able to act on one device at a time, not having a native way in the UI to multi-select, you can trigger actions across multiple devices at once, which is incredible. But Courtney's now taking us to ServiceNow, something that we've talked about quite a bit, but still is news to a lot of folks, is that you can use the browser extension in virtually any web platform where you can see a computer name, username. You can highlight that, right click, and pull up the actions. Now, we didn't advertise it as much because it's not as clean as the Intune user experience where you've got the button, but it absolutely works and so extensible for, again, any ticketing platform, any other portal, not just Microsoft's, but like anywhere you might be doing work, Tanium, Ninja One, any other browser based. Power BI, yeah.
Or even an internally developed tool. I've worked at so many companies that have internally developed like system information style tools or inventory tools. This will work in almost every location that you have a browser. So
yeah, as you got text there, we can key off.
Yeah, all those homebrewed tools. But you know, as being a former help desk guy, asset fulfillment, imaging new devices, having to reset passwords for people in AD, pull BitLocker keys, using ServiceNow as a ticketing platform, like so jealous. This would have saved me so much time. So yeah, lots of favorite features, but I think that one is my number one.
Yeah, it's the whole Control C and Control V are wiped off your keyboard. If you can't just right click it. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, Freshservice. Yeah, any web platform. Thanks for the question, Chuck, in the chat.
And we are looking at ways to make this type of integration better and cleaner on those other platforms as well. But this is a fantastic start. Love it. So exciting.
And I will point out one of the things that Courtney did. So the multi-device actions just works off of a common eliminated list. So if there is a place where you want to do multiple like actions. If you can get the computer names into a common delimited list, which generally isn't too hard, then you can select all of those, right click on them and do a bulk action. That's really just how it all works behind the scenes, is that common delimited list. So thank you, Courtney, for showing that.
I feel
You're
like we need a
welcome.
feed me CSV's Cookie Monster.
Yes, we do.
Gift for that. Yeah. Awesome.
Nice.
All right, Fabian, you're up next.
Yeah, awesome. And my favorite tool is app rationalization, recently released. And what it's really going to be doing is viewing the applications in your environment, comparing it to our right-click tools patching catalog. In the initial release, right, we're able to see those applications. But in future releases, we should be able to see vendors' current versions, count of devices, and CV information.
Sweet. And we'll demo this more later. We'll get into that app compliance tab during our release time, because this is new as of the release that went out yesterday. So great. Marty, I think you get the last one for Recast Tools Enterprise.
Yeah. So mine is actually in the Recast management server, and it is the agent. Yeah, there you go. The agent management dashboard. As more and more things are requiring us to have a connected and working agent, this is an absolutely super helpful place to find out what's currently connected, how it's currently connected, and just making sure that everything looks good. More than once we've had, people who are like, man, I can't tell why this action isn't working. We can go here real quick, search for a device, and be like, here's why. Right now, this one isn't connected to the management server. And then we can actually troubleshoot from there, right? And try and figure out why it's not working. Rather than just being like, I don't know, and not having any idea. This year was the right time to have a management dashboard to see what does our agent connectivity look like.
Sweet.
Yeah.
This was a hackathon thing, right? Not this innovation event, but the previous innovation event, right? It was a thing we've been talking about for a while, and somebody just pulled it all together. Who did?
Hannah and Cheryl, yeah.
And then Cheryl,
Yeah.
you guys are awesome.
Yeah,
Super
really well
cool
done.
tool.
All right. Well, so that's Recast Tools Enterprise. Let's do the Recast Tools patching. I had my top pick on this one, the Recast Tools patching software update management integration, which I think was a October release.
September sounds right.
But for organizations that want to manage third-party application updates right alongside the Microsoft updates using Config Manager software update management model, boom, we've got that out there now. And we're seeing a ton of people adopt that in addition to the Config Manager or Intune app models for keeping stuff up to date. And the team over in Finland, the Dark Side team, cranked that out.
Yeah,
they
turned that around real fast.
Yep.
And did a great job with it. But yeah, there was a lot of discussion about it, and then it was just overnight they had a demo of it. It was really crazy.
Yeah, it was impressive to see the dev come in and be like, oh, this was less than one case of beers work to get a fully working demo. I'm like, all right, I will make sure the beer fridge here is more stocked. It's interesting. Courtney, what do you got on there?
My favorite. One of the things that would have saved a lot of time in a previous job I worked at was being able to schedule patching around Patch Tuesday. We had some requirements that we could only do certain patching during certain times. So you can actually schedule those now with our third-party patching solution. Pick a date, time. You can do an offset. So maybe it waits 5 days after Patch Tuesday until it indeed updates, and then you just save it, and you can keep it as a global setting, or you can do it per types of apps, so you can group apps together as well. And it would save me so much time back in the day. So it's one of my favorites right now. But there's some honorable mentions of things Brandon made for me for hackathon. So some free space, disk space, user profile sizes. Those are all in system information. Brandon did an excellent job last innovation event.
Shout out.
I gotta say really quick, big thanks to our customers for really advocating and leveling up the need for scheduling, and big shout out to the engineering team to find a way to get some functionality in there. More to come on scheduling options in the future, but incredible time to resolution and getting something out into the world for our customers to use. So thanks to everybody who contributed to the need and the solution.
I love it. And this is an example where we do prioritize getting something shipped that's going to be helpful versus, make 15 different features before we ever show it to anybody. So we know that people need it based off of Patch Tuesday. And if we were able to do that fast, and people want to be able to anchor it to any particular day plus X days, we're going to do that as well. But we didn't wait for the full, we knew we were going to get value by getting something out fast. We got a lot of good feedback in that process that helps guide those follow-on steps. That is part of the strategy is for approaching software development, is if we can get something valuable out early to get feedback before the 50 other valuable things are ready, we're going to do that. We're going to ship incrementally. So, and we'll see that even in some of the stuff we're releasing right now. We've got a good step on some things that beg the next steps. Well, we want to make sure we get feedback along the whole journey versus building it all before we show it to anybody. So get it out there fast. Love it. Brandon, you had a top pick for insights.
Yeah, I don't know if someone's going to demo it, but worked at Best Buy for a long time with Kyle. We refreshed thousands and thousands of computers, and it absolutely sucked to go and get the warranty information. So having this dashboard makes it a whole lot easier, and I'm just a huge fan. It looks beautiful. It's easy to use. It makes the thing easier. It's all wins.
Sweet. And the right-click tools, the warranty information dashboard in RMS is the first one to use the new layout UI. It's gorgeous, right? And we've got really good integration with the enterprise browser extension.
Yeah.
Like that's fun too. So yeah, I love it. Good choice. All right, let's community edition. Garth, you wanted to give a big shout out here.
Helps if I come off mute. So yeah, I mean, there's a couple of interesting things about community. Recast as a whole is very community focused, and you can see that the way we're doing this type of event. So this is not done by marketing as a whole thing, but you'll see that our community gives us suggestions. Like one of the ones that we haven't even talked about is dark mode. And if you like dark mode, there's been an update to this month's release that makes dark mode even better for all of our tools on this thing. And this is because of guys like you who come out and say, we would love to see things like that. So this is one, the community is there. Look for us on Blue Sky, Reddit. There's a number of us who hang out answering questions on things. I encourage you to give us feedback. And I literally will review the ideas portal every day on things. So it's not uncommon for somebody like myself to reply. Just because you don't get a reply doesn't mean that we're not looking at it or we don't care, but I can guarantee you people are looking at it every day. So.
Woo, dark mode. Yay.
Finally.
So that's actually Ethan and Hannah both took on that project. I think Hannah did the first one. Ethan did some updates to it, but give us your feedback. That's what I encourage you guys to do it. The more you talk to us, the more likely you're going to see things. So there you go.
Garth, really quick, is that a Christmas Vacation shirt where the tree on the car is a can of Pringles?
It is. That's exactly what this is.
That's so
and
awesome.
then those from Canada, this is from GT Boutique. Just saying.
Love it.
Is that a paid advertisement?
Not
GT
sponsored.
Boutique? No.
All right, and last but certainly not least is we're going to do a shout out with David Segura, and it's both David gets to talk about community, and David is one of the highlights. Like I'm picking him. David joined us a couple months ago, and you may know David from OSD Cloud fame. So, David, what's your favorite for 2025?
It's going to have to be Recast plus OSD.
Yeah.
Awesome. Not biased.
No, not biased. No.
And we've already got some swag ready for MMS, I guess.
Awesome. Looking forward to it. Cool. All right. Well, that is our 2025 recast wrapped, 2025 recast wrapped. There we go.
There we
Yeah.
go.
All right. Thanks for sharing your top picks. Appreciate it. Let's roll on to the release itself, and the actual December release went live in the portal yesterday. We held it for an extra day to get one more fix into the release. Thank you to everybody who worked really hard yesterday to get that all figured out. Love it when the plan comes together, and then another plan, and then another plan. Where, you know, we can improvise and adapt. Good job, everybody. But it's out there and available for you to go and download. Release notes are live, and we've got some cool stuff here. So I'm gonna do the high level overview quick, and then it should just all be talk and demo for the rest. But right-click tools, community and enterprise, we've got the app rationalization tool. We'll do a deeper deep dive than what we previewed in our wrapped. We're going to talk about the add and edit group tags for autopilot devices. We're going to show some changes to right-click tools patching so you can limit it to just major version or limit major version upgrades. There we go. And then finally, probably the biggest thing that we've been working on the longest with the most effort is we're so excited to show is with right-click tools insights, the recast agent driven inventory, where, you know, everybody at this point, it's almost a meme that Intune reporting sucks. And since we can't make Intune collect more things to report on, we got to collect it. And we've got some really awesome stuff to show everybody that just shipped yesterday. So let's take it away. Let's start. I believe we've got Scott up first with the autopilot features.
Absolutely.
And-
Let me
Yep.
get my screen shared here. Yeah, so some of you may know that we released the first of our autopilot actions, I believe, back in October, which was actually being able to remove a device from autopilot. So if I'll pull up my config man console right here, we have a device. If you right click on this, go to right click tools, console tools, you'll see remove devices from autopilot right here. So this will actually go out and remove from autopilot. So that was released back in October, just as a refresher for everyone. What we did this month, however, was added a set autopilot group tag. So now we have an option.
I'm not seeing your screen actually refresh.
Yeah, it's stalled on my end too.
Is it stalled on
Okay.
yours? How about now?
Do you mind stopping the screen share and restarting?
Yep.
Okay.
Good catch. Thank you.
Need some hold music.
I know.
Did you ever know?
Oh no, did we lose Scott entirely?
We might have lost Scott.
Oh no. Internet. So here's what we do. We just pivot.
That's right.
Courtney, we'll come back to Scott, right? Courtney,
Sure.
we're gonna do the application compliance tool inside our little catalog search tool. This is one of those incremental releases where whenever we've got a feature ready within this story, we're getting it out there. This one's pretty exciting. And as that's loading up, literally what we're doing is helping you take your config manager, add remove programs inventory data, and anonymously match that to our right-click tools patching catalog to try to go and show where you've got things in your environment that are part of the catalog. So whether you're a community user and you're just curious, or you already own right-click tools patching and you want to find which of the 3,500, 4,000 apps in the catalog actually exist in your environment, trying to make it easier to match. This is the preview of that. It's very much, version less than 0.1. We threw the preview tag on there. But we wanted to get something out there. It should be really good at the most popular apps, but there are 3,500 apps. And if you have dealt with hardware inventory information before, you know that every app out there in 3,500 also means every way they have ever listed information in admin programs. So on V1, matching's not perfect, but it's pretty good enough to give you a good start. Courtney, I'm not seeing your screen. They're seeing your screen. So if you want to take it away, sorry, I was waiting for it to load. It just didn't load on mine.
I blame my Windows 95 sweater just to put out there. I don't actually.
Yeah, really
I
quick.
agree with you.
All the viewers, can you see Courtney's screen? Just want to make
Give a
sure.
thumbs up or something.
Um,
Technical issues.
It
Some
is
hit or
not
miss.
downloaded
Let's
for me.
see. Yeah, we'll stop and reshare. How about that?
One more time. The
Please.
Courtney's gonna freeze too, for sure.
Oh, yeah, no, it's my turn. We're jinxing it.
Fingers crossed.
She did. She froze.
Are you
That's
froze?
crazy.
We did it.
Cloud down.
Just maybe.
Yeah, that's weird. All right, Scott, you wanna take a chance again?
Here we go.
Please work here, guys.
Please.
And it's
please,
live
please.
on my ends. Yep.
Yeah, look
Yep.
at it.
Live?
Look good.
All right.
Quick demo before it goes down again.
Quick. All right. But what we added, I don't know how far I got, but I'm just going to skip to the new thing. What we added this month was the ability to actually set the autopilot group tag using a right-click tool action. So right here, what I have is a device in Intune that I'm kind of curious about why Fabian isn't getting the app I deployed to all Canadian workstations, because he just moved to Canada. He wanted to be closer to Garth. So I, kind of troubleshooting this. I go over to group membership. Well, he's in the autopilot US workstations, and I know I have a group tag set up that automatically puts everyone in that group. So I can now go in right from this screen without having to drill down to 16 other menus to find it, and go to console tools and set autopilot group tag. Wait a second, we'll do a little, there we go. Now I can go ahead and switch him to Canada, hit update, and that'll update the group tag right there. So small thing, but just removing those friction points so that when you're trying to troubleshoot an issue, you can get back to work quickly. There was another feature that didn't quite make this release that we're working towards, hopefully releasing next month, which is actually being able to register devices in autopilot. So more to come on that. But we want to make this whole lifecycle story easier for everyone to get your devices into autopilot, manage their tags, and then finally decommission them when they're no longer being used.
Cool. I do want to call that today, Intune specific actions like that are right-click tools enterprise only. And that is a technical limitation because we require to route over a service connection with RMS. In the future, we plan to make those things available in community. It's just going to take more engineering effort to rehost some of that code in community. So if you're a community user on the call today, we want that feature for you. It will come, and it's on the roadmap for this next year. We just haven't started doing that work yet. Courtney, do you want to try again with app rationalization?
Don't think she's in the meeting.
All right, Scott,
I can pivot quick.
Perfect. Thank you, Scott.
Through.
So nimble, this guy.
We'll do it live.
Compliance tab.
Yeah, so this is the new feature that is released this month. So under app compliance, what this is going to do is it's going to check your environment for all the applications that are supported with right-click tools patching, in essence. So you'll see a listing of all the applications that we've detected as being available in your environment, and you'll see this column whether it's supported with right-click tools patching or not. So I can sort by this and say, hey, I have all these apps that I could be managing through right-click tools patching and not having to manually package every month and all that. So definitely helps get that data to the people that need it and know what's there and what we support and what we can help you out with.
Awesome. Thanks for bringing that up. And like I said, this is iterative release. We're going to add things like the device counts because you can query that info out of Config Manager. Someday we will look at using Intune's inventory data for that. And that devices tab would let you kind of pivot that view and just look at one device and all the apps on it. So
Nice.
we're gonna keep building on that. We've got great collaboration between the folks in the US setup store folks who have all the data and the dark side team who does the right-click tools patching. So
Yeah, I think another easy win is like a total count of apps on that list and percent of apps covered.
export button, you got it. We got lots of ideas there. If you've got ideas, throw them into that ideas portal. We want to see it. Go get on the latest version of community or enterprise console extension, browser extension. You should see this stuff today.
Love it.
All right, next up on the list. I don't even remember what's next on the list. We were gonna do. This work here. Help me out, guys. Are we already going over to insights?
Insights, yep.
Yeah. All right, Garth. Garth, it's your time to shine.
Garth is muted. He's
Still
still
muted?
muted.
We don't want to hear him talking to you. It's fine.
Apparently, I got to unmute too before I actually,
That does help, I've heard.
Yeah, well, so for those who haven't seen the warranty dashboard, this was released, I think it was last month or the month before, October on there. Here's the warranty dashboard. This gets you all the warranty for your devices in Intune right now. On there, you can also go look at the individual devices and see what the warranty is for the individual devices. Of course, you can export this out to a CSV and manipulate the data as you see fit. But what we really are kind of interested in is over in my other environment, we allowed for Recast agent to go off and collect inventory for each of your devices. The first thing I have to say is this is just the first phase on this thing. There's a significantly more phases. I think that we've earmarked about 16 more phases out there. So you're going to see this iterate every month, what we're going to do. But here is, in this lab, we've got 3 devices. And what I'm going to show you is when I click on this view warranty is we've collected all the existing endpoint insights, which is now right-click tools insights data, and we're returning that. So if I go look at things like who's in the local local users, you can see all the accounts that are in the local users. You can see who's in the local groups, et cetera, like that. So this is our first kick at this. This is where you'll see us expand the list of data that we're collecting quite substantially to the point. The ultimate goal of right-click tools insights is we no longer care if you've got configuration manager or Intune or ServiceNow. We're going to collect you the data, bring it into your RMS server, and then give you reports and dashboards based on that. Be able to take actions based on this information across the board. This ultimately will include custom inventory, so your classes that you want to collect on this. In short, there's a lot of things that can happen. And this is where I actually want to hear from you guys. I want you to come off to our ideas portal and say, we would love to see inventorying X and why it's important to you. I want to hear from you guys to say, okay, it's great that you're inventorying this, but I need X, Y, Z. What is missing from Configuration Manager, or what is missing from Intune that you need to inventory? But the long and short of it is, over the next 6 months to a year, you're going to see us spend a lot of time expanding off this and making changes to this. And apparently we got 5 minutes left in the meeting, so I will be short and make sure I click the right button when I go stop sharing. So hopefully, if you guys have any questions, I'm always available.
Yeah, throw those questions in chat, throw the feedback in chat, give us feedback on the feedback portal. And oh my goodness, I think, Garth, you are underselling how huge this is too, because right-click tools insights has been around for a long time and been super valuable in that it was a set of reports, right? Like 225 some reports that made it really easy for you to manage your environment. But those reports were mostly based off of config manager data, plus things that we added on, like information about monitors and docks through some magic on the back end, and warranty information through some magic on the back end. But when people went over to Intune, that data is just not there, and Microsoft's not adding that data very fast. They fixed the problem by adding like 12 classes out of the 300 we had before in Config Manager. And I'm sure that the team that did that probably took flack because they now have to pay the Azure storage bill for it. And yet you still have reporting challenges. Like you need to know information about the systems in your environment to support them. That's the reality. So this is our first step in that direction to just say, yep, what you had before in ConfigMan, being able to inventory the things that you needed, we're going to help you do it, right? It's is what it is. We've got a whole team of folks who have been prioritizing this since, I don't know, the summer.
Yeah, it was around May, I think, that we got the project slated. So
Yeah, and I imagine that through a lot of this next year, it will still be a major effort with a whole team building. Because there are more and more organizations that, for one reason or another, are losing access to Config Manager. Sometimes because it was the strategy of the org and we're doing Intune only. And if there are any needs we can't meet, apparently we just don't need those anymore. And yet, if you're being asked to solve problems and you need the data, we're going to help you get the data.
So Nash, just to make it clear, because there was a comment in the chat, right-click tools insights is an additional SKU. It is formally called endpoint insights, Recast endpoint insights on there. If you have the Recast endpoint insights, the warranty is there along with all the inventory that was there for like monitors, docking stations, and all the rest of that sort of stuff. But yes, it is a separate SKU. There is a bundled SKU. If you don't have the endpoint, the Recast insights, I strongly encourage you to talk to your technical account manager and learn more about it. And please give us feedback, what you would love to see, because you never know what we do for hackathon type projects on that. So
sweet. All right.
Yes, and it is the enhanced soft stuff. You know, you can see the sign behind me there, but you know,
yeah, it's a brave new world, right? It's the same problem though, right? We still have the same needs. We're going to have to build some new tooling to get everybody there. Love it, love it, love it. All right. We're coming up on the end of the hour. There were a ton of bug fixes. There was also the change for patching for right-click tools patching, make it so you can limit it to the existing major version.
Yeah, essentially, just a couple things. So kind of how that essentially works is, let's just imagine that you're on version 48, version 49 of whatever application has come out. If you'd like to stay on 48 and just continue to upgrade in that path, maybe the developer has, you know, concurrently releases in both versions. That way you can stay on the older version until you're ready to move to the next to the bigger version. Would be for that.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Thanks, Marty.
Yeah. One other thing, as we were talking about the insight stuff that's coming in as well, brand new for December. So if your agents aren't up to December, this is my technical support background coming out, right? If your agents aren't up to November or December, if your RMS isn't up to December, you're not going to see that information. Once you do that, it'll start coming in. And after you install agent, 3 minutes, it will start bringing that data in to your RMS.
Sweet. All right. Well, let's do some wrap up things. We've talked about a lot of stuff. We've shown a lot of stuff. We've begged for your feedback. You've given us a bunch live. Hoping people are also putting it into the feedback portal. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If you want to talk with one of our technical sales folks and get a demo of any of the things that you've heard about today, but in the context of your environment, hit yes to the poll or go click on the link for a demo request. Courtney leads a team of folks who can meet with you and talk about what your needs are and how we slide into the systems management gaps that Microsoft leaves. Happy to go and talk with you about your individual challenges. Additionally, I want to promote a couple of things. Number one, if you're an existing customer who either doesn't have Recast management servers stood up or agents stood up, or you did it yourself and things aren't going well, reach out to your customer success manager. They've got a program they're calling the RMS review queue. We would love to help you get everything set up and onboarded the way that it's intended to be and make it work for you. Reach out to your customer success manager to get into the RMS review queue.
Yeah, and our technical onboarding managers are all former sysadmins. They get it. They've been a mile in your shoes. They'll expedite the process and make sure everything looks good for you.
Awesome. Additionally, a shout out for support. If you are having issues, open a support case. If you're here as a community user, we provide support to community as well. Like if there are tools that aren't working the way you think they're supposed to, we would love to help figure out if the issue's on our end or environmental. Open a support case, talk to our rock stars in support. Check out Diary of a Sysadmin podcast, come to our upcoming webinars, and we're going to do this show again next month, right? January. We typically do our releases the third Wednesday of the month, and third Wednesday plus 2, that following Friday is when we're going to do our show. Registration for that is up already. We would love for you to come back, join us live, join in on all the fun, and we can't wait to show you all the things that we have ready for release in January. Have a wonderful holiday. Thank you for being with us. We're out. Talk to you later.